So we're a bit few tonight, but we will still make a recording and send it out to everyone. And tonight is an interesting topic. Well, in summer, as soon as the spring arrives, everybody is asking the question, how can I lose the weight as quickly as possible? So we talk tonight about losing weight and how do you keep it off? So I'm going to share my screen with you. The whole thing about losing weight is not taking it off. If you have a tummy bug, you will lose weight. It's not getting the weight off, it's keeping it off. That's the biggest challenge. And I'm going to share my screen with you and just give you a few tips and tricks and things to think about tonight. Maybe it will set you on the path for the future. So at Light to Live, we believe we can help our clients rewrite their stories. If you don't like the story you're in, it is time to rewrite it. Hi, Francis. Welcome. Um, so we believe in transforming your life to live a lighter life and enjoying your life as it is, and not living in regret or remorse about missed opportunities. So I'm just going to add the other people. Hi, Daphne. Welcome again.
Hello.
It's good to have you here as well. You and Francis.
Thank you.
So everybody can see my screen. If you can't see, please just raise a hand at the top. So if we are transformed, we are living lighter, brighter lives. And this is the direction that we want our clients to go. Not only in the short term, but having a good life in the long run. So let's look at BMI. BMI, the calculation for that is your body mass index. And usually when you go for a medical checkup, they will calculate your BMI, and there's a lot of trackers online that you can use. But it's basically your weight according to your height ratio that they do a calculation. And if your BMI is under 18.5, you're underweight. So all these skinny people, they in that category. Hi, Tandy. Welcome, Tandy. Good to have you here. And then normal weight is between 18.5 and 25. If your body mass ratio is between 18.5 and 25, then you're in the normal range. Then overweight is between 25, a BMI of 25 to 30, and over 30, it's obese, and that's morbidly obese. Over 35 is morbidly obese. So there's interesting statistics about obesity, and the whole world is moving in that direction. And the question is, why is that? So this is Miami. I think it's Miami, Florida. Life on the beach in 1969. Interesting enough, if you look at the people here, you don't see many fat people, eh? That was the normal then. So, and interesting also is you don't see people eating. So today we see lots of people with their cooler bags and their crisps and their ice creams eating, but you don't see many people there eating. I can't find anyone. So this was life, normal life in 1969. So what happened since then? So if you look at the obesity rates, studies that was done on obesity in countries, in 1975, this Africa was basically zero obesity. So no fat people in Africa still. And India, in China, basically none. Only America had about 10% to 15% obesity, and then Russia, interesting enough, and the Middle East, and that is Turkey, I believe. So I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So just a few countries, but nobody had more than 20% obesity of the population. Fast forward in 2014, it's a whole different picture. Basically, the whole world is in trouble. Now, more than 20% in total of the world population is obesity or morbidly obese. So the question is now, what's going on in the whole world that the whole world population is moving towards obesity and they can't get rid of it? Like America is more than 30%, more than a third of Americans is obese. Um, in actual life, more than 80% of Americans is overweight. Adult Americans is overweight. 80% of adult Americans is overweight. So this is only the obesity statistics, not the normal overweight people. That's a bit chubby. So what is going on? It's only Africa and India and again China that's more in the normal range of people. So what happens between those times, we will discuss this after this COVID slide, um, everything was bad already, and then COVID hit, and in 2020 and 21, more than 42% of Americans put on 29 unwanted pounds. So if you're already overweight, then you shift to obesity. And the previous statistics was in 2014. So you can think what was the shift then. So Dr. Susan Pierce Thompson is a specialist in eating disorders, also from the Brightline Eating Program, the most successful and popular weight loss program in the world. And I will tell you a bit more about her just now. But 13 kilos is quite a lot on anybody, 13 kilos shows. And that was basically the pattern all over the world. South Africans follow the Americans um, basically in the same direction. So for us in South Africa, that was also a thing. And especially women in menopause. Menopause combined with high stress like COVID um, adds up to a weight increase. And what can we do about that? So what happened, especially in America in the 1970s, it was the Industrial Revolution and shift to convenience foods. So TV foods and more ready meals was then introduced to the Americans in their shops. And not so much to us in South Africa. It arrived here in the 90s, more or less, the convenience foods. So then McDonald's and all these places opened and all the convenience foods in the stores was coming in and everybody think it was heaven on earth. I don't have to cook for my family anymore. I can just buy it. And then suddenly the obesity started to rise. So what happens in our brains, and this it's not the case for everybody, just as alcoholics doesn't affect everybody. Some people can have a drink and it's fine with that. Some people can't have a drink at all, otherwise they will just can't stop themselves. And it is the same with processed foods. So it hijacks our brains so that you can't say no. And one thing about the whole food industry is that they design the flavors in such a way that it will stay only long enough on your taste buds so that you will get that dopamine rise in your brain to say, I like it, but not long enough to say that I'm satisfied. So it is perfectly designed to make us addicted. Think of a packet of cheese curls. If you eat cheese curls, you can't stop yourself because of that. It's designed to make us addicted. And it's a big river, big, strong river that just pulls us in the moment you set your toe into that stream. So food addiction starts with sugar, salt, and fat. Anything that's refined into a powdery stuff like flour and sugar has the potential to make us addicted. It looks very much the same as heroin and cocaine because it's not the original plant that makes us addicted. You can chew on hemp leaves, it won't do anything, but as soon as it's processed into a powder and or in a substance, then it becomes addictive and it has an effect on your brain. So we don't want to say no. If you're a lover of chocolates and the more chocolate you eat, especially the sweet ones, the less you can say no. You have to finish the slab. I believe I'm not the only one there. So especially my weak point is condensed milk. So if somebody opens that can and I take the first teaspoonful, it's the end. I can finish the whole can and I feel terrible after that. So much rather not have it in my house at all. I know my weakness. So what is the solution to this? The long and the short is we have to down regulate our dopamine receptors to lower our baseline insulin levels. Because what happens when we eat sugar and especially bread and flours, ultra processed foods, it rises your insulin levels and it keeps your baseline of insulin levels higher. And that sparks this whole food addiction thing in our brains. So if you struggle and if you're honest with yourself and you realize, okay, the main reason why I struggle to lose weight is because I can't help myself when I start eating chips or bread or sweets or whatever that thing may be in your life that keeps you from having success, then maybe it's the ultra processed food industry that triggers our brains to not having the abilities to say no. And the only way out of this trap is to lower our baseline insulin levels and get it back to normal so that you don't crave that all the time. So, and then upsize your nutrient density in your foods. So, what happens with cravings there's two sides of that. The one thing is that trigger in your brain that goes off and you can't stop yourself from eating something. But on the other side, the more sweets and sugars we eat, the less we want to eat proper natural foods because natural foods are not flavored in the same way that these ultra processed foods are flavored. If you think about cheese curls, it's a very intense taste on your tongue, and basically our palate gets hijacked. And the more salt and fat and sugar we eat, the more our palate is hijacked, and you can't taste the natural flavors of food in nature. So you will say, "Oh, beans taste terrible. I the peaches doesn't taste like anything. I don't like an apple." Natural foods won't taste at all like something because your dopamine spikes needs so much from this food because your body constantly down regulate your dopamine receptors so that it doesn't get spiked that much. And it's difficult for your body to find a balance. The whole thing about the food industry is it's hijacking everything in our body, even your taste receptors. So when you stop eating those things, all those ultra processed foods, and you upsize your nutrient density, then suddenly your cells get more nutrients, and then your cells is replenished, and then your body says, "Thank you very much. I'm not hungry anymore." Have you ever tried to be on a diet and you feel like I'm hungry and then I'm hangry and you feel upset with the whole world? It's because your cells are depleted of nutrients and your body gives you messages, please eat something that has nutrients. And usually people, and I find it all the time with women when they sign up on the program, the first question that I ask them is, tell me what you eat in a typical day. And most women eat too little. And then I work out a menu plan for them and they get their recipe book and I don't restrict them on portion sizes. They can eat as much as they want to according to their hunger levels. And then usually they will tell me, I'm eating too much. And then they still lose weight because their body gets replenished on a cellular level. And that's what we are looking for. So I had one couple that actually, it was a family signing up for their daughter. And the father and the mother also did the program with her. And he was constantly telling his wife, just call Ilse and tell her we are eating too much. We are eating too much. And she said to him, you just stay quiet and eat your food. And then after week one, they lost weight. And after week two, they lost weight. And I saw him like 6 weeks later. And he said to me, he had to buy new clothes because he lost so much weight on eating so much. So if your cells is replenished with proper nutrients, then your body will automatically tell you stop eating. And when you don't have that insulin levels that's constantly elevated. So that's the second step. And then there's the question, what kind of diet is the best one? Keto, Banting, carnivore, high fat, low carb, Mediterranean, vegan, Atkins, all these apps, Noon, Zero, Zone, or something like that, the Zone. What is the best diet? And now we have this weight loss drugs as well. So what is the best one to follow? And the question is again, what does your body need? Not what is the best diet. And my husband always gets in trouble when somebody tells him his ladies' colleagues tell him they're on a diet. He will ask him, and when are you going to start eating again, like eating too much? And then they're upset with him. And he said, well, if you're hungry and you don't like the diet you're on, you will eventually stop. So putting yourself through a lot of trouble for nothing, it's not worth it. So rather ask yourself, what is the best for my body that I can do? And then I can decide what's the best thing to do in the long run. So what is the cycle of dieting? Usually starts out with, I'm going to do this or that plan and I need to follow it perfectly. And what most diets do, like keto, and Banting and carnivore, it it tricks your body into starvation mode. So because you don't eat any carbs and things like that, you eat so little carbs that your body burn the fat for energy, and that is good in the short run. But in the long run, um, you just crave that mango or that banana or something sweeter. And the moment you eat that, your body gets out of survival mode and it says, I'm going to hold on to anything that you give me now. And your body stop losing weight. And usually, most of the time, the people start picking up weight again. And then they're so depressed about that because they feel as if they are the problem. And if you can remember the slide, the first slide where I showed you this very relatively lean people, all the people, the population was lean in the 1970s, and suddenly today that's not the case. People didn't restrict them then on food. They ate whatever there was. But because they ate natural foods, their bodies wasn't nutrient deficient. And then they didn't have to diet. The diet is the problem. So when you fall off the diet, you think, well, next Monday, tomorrow, and you eat all you can today because tomorrow I will start all over. And eventually, all of the cycles up and down, new diet, next diet, makes you feel like I'm a complete failure. It's not that I fail this time, it's I am the failure. And this is killing people, especially women. We are so hard on ourselves as women. We measure ourselves and our value as a person on the number on the scale, and you don't wear the number on the scale around your neck. So we are so hard on ourselves. Men usually, when they pick up weight, they just say, "Oh, my tummy muscles is 5 kilos stronger now. I can do with it," and they buy a bigger shirt. Not that I think that's the solution, but they are much nicer to themselves than us. So the cycle of dieting is something that we want to prevent. Who wants to go through that ups and downs again? And at Light to Live, that's a total no-no. We don't do diets. Never, ever do a diet. So what is that solution then? I want to keep people out of crash and burn zone because that's where all the negativity comes in and you just feel so bad about yourselves. And every time you hit that crash and burn zone, when you fall off the wagon, you're more a failure than the previous time. And it's not good for us. It's not a good example to set for our children. It doesn't inspire anybody. So much rather kill the diet. And then let's move on to something more sustainable that can work for us. So here's some statistics. Semaglutides is the all these weight loss drugs that's now so popular. So this is after 2 months, people lose about 4% of their weight. Brightline eating is a weight loss program that's designed for food addicts. So people who are addicted to sugar and flour, designed for them based on the alcoholics 12-step process, basically the same concept just for people that's food addicts, and hugely successful. And then you have all the others, New Weight Watchers, Slim Fast, Atkins, Nutrisystem, and Zone. 2 months, 1 year in the red. They don't have statistics for the others, but you can see it's relatively low. So if you weigh 100 kilos and you have to lose about 30 kilos to be at your normal weight, or say 25, that's 25% of your weight. There's nothing that comes even close to this. So this is the problem with any diet. You never eat that. 6% is very little. Like losing 6 kilos really doesn't make a big shift when you're 100 kilos. So let's discuss this Ozempic and all this others. So you pay a lot of money to lose weight because, again, you are tricking your body with something that's not natural, to have receptors to make you feel full. So eventually, after a year and a half, your brain downsizes that receptors because your brain is designed for a certain balance, and this is disrupting the balance. So your body adjusts to that, and then it stops the whole process of the receptors to make you feel full. So eventually you will lose weight quite a lot, 14% in year one. After 2 years, for the next year, you lose only like 0.5% more, paying still every month for that really expensive medication with all the side effects. I had one client who signed up. She was 28 years old. She lost her gallbladder in the process because of using that. She was about 10 kilos. She had to lose about 10 kilos. She got so ill that after a few months, they had to remove her gallbladder. And while she was with me, she was still struggling with healing from the operation. She lost 30 kilograms. She looked like skin and bones, really unhealthy, and had a total complex about picking up weight again. And I think, my dearest, you looked quite nice, way better with your 10 kilos on your body, but losing 30 kilos when you only have to lose 10 is not a healthy thing. And she, at 28, she lost her gallbladder, and it was just because of this side effects of this stuff. So the interesting thing is, statistics shows that after 1 year and 3 months, the people on Ozempic and things on average stop losing weight, and then they start to pick it up. So you pay and you pay and you pay, and at 4 years, you're back to 10%. So say you're 100 kilos, you lost your 10%, is 10 kilos. So after 4 years of paying for that that medication, you only lost 10 kilos. So is that worth it? That's a question. So then you have Bright Line Eating. That is a program with a lot of support that has a lot of bright lines. You don't eat sugar and flour at all. And they have very strict meals, and you have a strong community supporting you. And they're the only program that I know of, except now for Light to Live. I don't have statistics like this. It was an American study that was done, that has a support system after you finish the program. So they have a support system where you can sign up as a long-term member and have community of support around you. So after 4 to 6 years, people still have a 15% reduction. So, and there are outliers. So like some of the people have lost 60 pounds plus. A very good system. You can Google Bright Line Eating and you will find their website. They have boot camps. So they have a one-on-one coaching that's $7,000 if you are willing to be coached privately, or they have a group program where it's $1,000 if you sign up and do it on your own. And then every now and then they have a scheduled boot camp where they have then a discount on that $1,000. but that's basically the program where they have a lot of platforms built in and support systems and coaches and things, but then it's working in a group. So this is the long-term success of diet. So the only diet that's long-term sustainable in the long run that doesn't have any side effects that they did studies on is the bright line eating. And then I will talk about the light to live principle that we use. So the whole thing is, if you want long-term success, you have to tell yourself or ask yourself, is all this trying, did it work? If you've ever been on diets and diets and diets and tried and tried and tried and it didn't work, now it's time for the truth. What will I do with my life if this doesn't work? Trying doesn't work, so it doesn't make me a failure. There's something else wrong. And this is the whole thing about trying. It's like trying to get fit, but I didn't have a plan. So I'm just trying day 1, 2, and 3 while I can still remember I'm trying to get fit. But if it's cold outside, no, thank you. I'm not going outside. So tomorrow is a good day. And this is the same with diets. I want this, but I have to eat that. And by day 3, you're done and dusted. So who wants to do that? Training is a whole different animal. If you sign up at the gym for a personal trainer, he waits for you. So then you have a day 1 and that trainer trains you and it's sore in the beginning, but you're committed to it. Training always costs you something. So you have to put some skin into the game. And if you sign up for training, it's much easier to sign up for training at the gym than to sign up for a lifestyle change because training is only once a day, then you're done, or 3 times a week, then you're done. But if you want to lose weight, training with a personal trainer won't do the trick because it's just a small percentage of the bigger picture. If you want to have success, you need to look at what do you put inside your mouth and what is the foods that will replenish my cells. That's what your body needs. Giving my body what I want to do and have a specific results that you are looking at. So let's discuss strategy then. So when you decide to train instead of try, you have to get ready, get what you need. So when we talk about food, usually people will need a blender or a food processor of some sort. It's always good to have a pressure cooker. You don't need that, but in essence, when you prepare yourself and you get yourself at least a sharp knife and a chopping board, then that's part of the gear that you need. And then have a game plan. Somebody has to work out a plan that at least works. So you can take anything from the internet and follow it, and maybe you will have success. The whole thing is, um, will it be enough for your body and for diversity? Because many diets tell you have a like one lady told me a dietitian gave her 2 rusks to eat with coffee in the morning. So, okay, how many mornings are you going to eat 2 rusks with coffee and feel satisfied? You need some diversity. You need different flavors. You need different textures. You need different nutrients. So, our program is a proper game plan that's designed to help you get your goals. And then ready, set, go to start your training. So when we design a menu plan for people, we don't tell them, okay, tomorrow you start. We have a whole set of steps that prepare you for day 1 because we want you to have a good start. So we work out the game plan for you and not for the whole public. You have a certain flavors and foods that you like or dislike or specific goals. We work it out for you. So training is the way you build healthy habits, whether it's in fitness training or lifestyle training or mind training. It is building habits that will last for life. It's only when you have a healthy habit that you will have a good outcome in the long run. So what you need to get ready is knowledge at first. Now, there's so much information today. You can now ask AI and he will give you a lot of answers, but many answers are so in conflict with each other. So our approach is, I've studied nutrition for the last 20 years. We've been on this route for 21 years now as a family. And in the beginning, I read a lot of books just to get the knowledge. And then I tested, sorry, I have a cough now, to test the knowledge against cross references and what is the outcome, what is the studies that was done. It's not, you can't accept anything that's written somewhere. And then you need a system, a menu plan, a recipe book, plans and prep and tools. You need that steps to take you from step one, from day zero to the end result that you want. So if you have everything together, then you are ready to start. And our recipe book has more than 100 recipes, and we are still developing new recipes. We have a whole set of new recipes for our members. Um, Welcome, Bali. We are glad you are with us. All right, and then when you get set, you need a coach and a strategy and an action plan. So think about a diet. Maybe you have to lose like 20 kilos plus. It's a huge mountain for you. So you need somebody to get you up the mountain. If you do a park run, you can go with your flip-flops and a water bottle, and it's easy to do. But when you climb a mountain, especially something that you've tried before and failed, and you know now it's not you are not the failure, it's the system that failed you. You need somebody who knows what is all the dangers that's lurking on this path. To get up a mountain, you need somebody who knows the mountain, and you need a strategy plan how you will get up the mountain. What is the pace that you will be doing that? And what is your action plans? And this is where we come in at Light to Live. We help our clients with specific plans and programs. And then you're set to go. So whether you join in a group or whether you do it on your own, the whole thing is we work with structure. And when you work within a structure, you get results. So just think about children who goes to school. When your little 6-year-old are ready for school, you dress him up, get the school bag, the lunch box, everything that's needed for day one at school. And then he doesn't get out of school on week 2 when he doesn't like it anymore. He still needs to go to school. And this is how they can read and write at the end of year 1. It is not something that you do based on your feelings. It's something that you set out for. You pay a lot of money for the school, you pay a lot of money for the uniform and everything else. And then every day you take that youngster to school, whether they are crying or not. You take them to school because you know it's good for them. And at the end of grade 1, they can write and read and do a few sums. And then they feel they are very clever. So this is the same thing with us. When we embark on a new journey, we have to show up. And this is where it helps to commit to something and to some people. Okay, so commitment is the very first step. If you want to see long-lasting success, you have to commit to the process. And you have to challenge the comfort zone. The comfort zone is your biggest enemy because your body will tell you, nope, this is not the way we do it. I feel uncomfortable with that. And I always ask my clients, I did this again today. My client is in week 5 of week 7 of the program. And we talked about the comfort zone and asked her, what was the noise in your head in the beginning? She said she was so scared that she can't do this, and she thought it's going to be very difficult when she started out, and now she's actually winging it. It's so easy. I have all the knowledge now and I understand the whole principle. And this is the thing about anything new. When you start out on a training program at the gym, it's scary in the beginning because you are challenging the comfort zone and your body will say, no, I don't like it. But that's actually the best thing to do, to follow through and just Don't have an argument with a terrorist. You know, when you're lying down in a warm bed, you're the terrorist, arguing with yourself and saying, nope, I don't want to do this. And then it's just to get your feet out of the bed and go to the gym. This is the same. We have some strategies in place to make it easier for you so that you can't become the terrorist to yourself. So, commitment is say, I'm training. I commit to a training program. I'm not trying. Trying doesn't mean anything. It's a choice of the moment or not. Training is a mindset of come hell or high water, I'm going to finish this. And we have a 12-week program, and I usually challenge my clients and say, let's just get to day 10. And when we get to day 10, we say, okay, day 21 is our next stop. And every time we review how is your journey, but we break it up in small parts. And before you know it, you're at week 12, and then you can see big results. So consistency is the other part of the success. Commitment on the one side to get you started consistently to stay in the program. And and I see my clients who are very graceful with themselves more than the perfectionists. They have the better progress because perfectionists want to do everything perfect. And you know, like life is not perfect. You don't have only plan A days. Some days you have plan D or C or E or F days. And that makes it very difficult for you to stay focused and do everything perfect. So we believe in progress and not perfection. Because the black and white approach, all or nothing, doesn't work in life. Life is not like that. We don't only have sunshine days, we have stormy days as well. And we have to plan for that. And we have a lot of plan A, B, C, and D's for those days. So consistency is so important. And then in the long run, successful people do consistently what others do occasionally. If you think about a professional golfers, an amateur will have a good day, but professionals will have consistent good days. That's the difference. And if you want to become a professional with a good lifestyle, it takes consistent effort to be successful there. So life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And the question is, will 2025 be your year that you get it done? If you've been on diets forever, this is the year that you can decide, I'm done with it. I never want to go on a diet again. I want to change my lifestyle and have success and enjoy that forever. I don't want to go back to dieting. That will be your best year ever. So my question to you is, there's still 22 weeks in the year. What will be your December? Where will you be by December? What will you look back on and say to yourself? 2025 was brilliant, my best year, highlight of my life. Or 2025, I regret all my actions or my not taking any action to myself. So I had a client, she signed up just before lockdown happened in 2020, in February 2020. She had to lose 50 kilos. She set out a goal for December. She said she wanted to, in December, be able to play with her kids on the beach because 50 kilos is a lot. You can't play with a body that's carrying so much weight. And she was so unhappy with herself in February. So she even took the dress out of her cupboard that she wants to wear to fit into by December. She designed the menu plan for the December holidays in July already. She had her vision that she held on to by December, 50 kilos gone. And on the 30th of November, she sent me a picture of a scale, 50 kilos done and dusted. That was the most joyful holiday of her life. So you can write a story like that if you want to lose weight. So this is a few of my clients. Esther is actually a friend as well. She struggled severely with brain headaches, migraines, actually so severe that she actually ended up in hospital quite a few times. And it was really great minimizing her life quality. So the last time in January 2024, when she got out of hospital, she said to me, "Now I'm ready. Come hell or high water, I want to change this." And she just jumped in and did it. So she didn't stop for any obstacle. She just lost the weight. And I talked to her last week, and she's now lost 35 kilos. So I don't have a photo yet of her, but that's Esther, and she's just going like a machine on this. So inspiring for everybody, and all her friends has already signed up onto the program as well, because Esther is such an inspiration to everybody. And this is a lovely young lady. I was at her wedding, but she struggled with hypoglycemia. So she fall asleep after lunch or after breakfast behind the wheel. It was really scary for her. And we had to stabilize her blood sugar levels. And we start out from a health perspective. Can you see that health is always our first focus? And the good side effect of focusing on your health and get your body healthy is that she lost 11 kilos. So just doing that, and she's still lean and fit and going strong and super healthy. Lovely to journey with her. My first clients, her husband, he had severe acid reflux, and we treated him for that. And with that recipe book and the lifestyle program that I designed, they also lost weight. She was just recovering at that stage from her pregnancy. So they lost the weight and they kept it off. And being a fit family, the youngsters are so beautiful and healthy little kids. And Madly is in New Zealand, South African in New Zealand. She wanted to take control of her health, and she did it. She just focused, even though she's far, far away. I do online meetings with her, and she's taking control of her health and life. And she did a marathon, extreme race, like a Spartan race, just to challenge herself, doing life fully. So one of my other clients, she was a diabetic at that stage. She called me in December 2021, and she's over herself. Um, Obese, menopause, diabetic, just can't sleep, and she's just feeling terrible about herself. And she started out, lost her 12 kilos, and then in last year I saw her, that was on the wedding day of her daughter, and she lost 32 kilograms. So the whole focus of any lifestyle program is to for your body to get to its normal weight. And if you have the right tools and you have the strategy, then you can go there. You will find your way. I have many clients that is happening towards, and if you think about the weight loss of all the different type of weight loss programs, this is a lot of weight to lose. This is more than, oh, I don't know how much she did weigh, but yeah, it's like 30+% of weight loss, of body weight that she lost. So really amazing to see people have this weight loss and they are so energized and they can just do life. So this is my own parents. They were a bit skeptic about my whole food journey with the smoothies and things, and they weren't living in Bloom at that stage. So at 70 years old, they were like proper pensioners, eating and drinking with all the parties and birthdays and things that took their toll on them, and they were really down on energy and the chronic diseases. And at 75, they joined the program. Within 6 months, everything was back to normal. Their blood pressure, cholesterol, everything was normal. So they got rid of that. And now it is 6 years later, and they still don't use any chronic medication. And the medical aid and the doctors, when they go for checkups, they can't believe that these two 83-year-old people can be so strong and healthy. And that's what's possible in your 80s, having a good life. So also one of my clients dropped 50 kilos. In the beginning, she stuck to the program, then COVID hit. She had a bit of a struggle, a lot of stress, picked up a few kilos, and then I helped her again with a new strategy plan, and then she dropped the rest of the weight over 50 kilos. It's recovering your. Bonita was a CrossFit trainer in her 50s. She had a trainer put her on a keto diet that is extremely harmful for your kidneys, and she had a kidney problem. So was nearly in the. It was a danger for her to lose her kidney function, my kidney in total. And then we started working on the program, and everything went back to normal. And she could go on with her training. Yeah, she's setting the bar for the youngsters. So this is we have a few programs, and all of them has a 12-week program that has a holistic approach. So we look at your life from a holistic perspective and say, what is the need? Do you have headaches? How do you sleep? What's your energy levels? What's your digestive system look like? What's your stress levels? And we work out a generalized program for you based on what is your specific needs. And then you get your personalized menu plans. Every 10 days, we design something new. I teach you how to design your own. And then you get your recipe book. And then there's the support. Every week, there's a meeting. You have 8 meetings over 12 weeks that you can schedule yourself. And then there's accountability. So I always say, I work with grace and truth. So we love success. I really like my clients to have success, but I'm not a bully. So I believe in grace because I need the grace a lot of times. So we work with grace and truth and accountability. And many of my clients tell me this is basically the game changer for me, because when I follow a diet on my own, I can do whatever I want and people won't know. But when I have to write down that lemon meringue and confess it, then I much rather don't do it, because I'm going to ask a question about that. So, eventually you are retraining your brain to think new about food. And when you do that, everything's changed. So you are getting equipped with knowledge and practical strategic plans to follow this lifestyle for the rest of your life. And the whole thing is not what is the best time to diet. Yes, winter is a good time because hopefully your life is a bit slower than in summer times. If not, um, maybe next year this time you just completed the whole year of seasons and birthdays and Christmas and Easter. That will always be there again. So when is the best time to start? Because you will have all these events again in your life. The best time to start is now. And especially in the winter, if you have some time to eat soups and things like that, it's warm, it's nourishing, and I work out the program based on your likes and dislikes. I don't force feed people things that they don't like, because this is the other belief of Light to Live, is that you will only do something in the long run if you enjoy it. So the whole recipe book is designed with the purpose of enjoying what you do. If you don't like what you eat, you will stop eating it. So there's ice cream on the front page. I strongly believe in ice cream because I'm a big lover of ice cream, chocolates as well. There's a braai, there's a pizza, lasagna, quiche. All of those foods are in the recipe book, but in a healthier way. And step by step, day by day, your body gets healthier one step at a time. So this is a summary of our programs. I will send you at the end of the session, I will send you a full document of what is the details of the abundant health program. There's a mastering menopause program, weight loss one, gut health, and then there's our level 2 program as well. All right, so my question to you is, when is it your time to rewrite your story? You didn't sign up just to spend some time on a Monday night. Maybe there's a reason why you signed up to listen to this power hour. And my challenge to you is, take the next step. On my programs, to make it more affordable, I have designed a payment plans as well. So if it's difficult for you to pay for the whole program, there's a few months that you can pay it off. And many of my clients did this. Some of my clients are on this call now, right now. But my whole focus is to help society get healthier and to create communities around my clients in the long run to make them stronger against this whole industry that wants to take us down with the food and with all the junk and things like that. So I want people to live healthy, happy lives with food that they enjoy. Okay, this is the whole story about weight loss and food and the strategy plan. We will send the recording tomorrow. Any questions at this stage, you're welcome to ask. Okay, ladies, so thank you from my side for joining me. I will send out the recording tomorrow and you will receive that in your inbox. But thanks a lot for joining us tonight. It was lovely having you here, and I hope to see you soon. Have a lovely evening. See you. Bye bye.
Bye, Ilse. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye, Tandy. Danke, Tasha.